forward to this one. It should be a beauty. Clark Keating has got the job initially on Carey. Let's see what happens. 5 versus 6 on the ladder. Hayden Kennedy, Stuart Wen, and also Darren Goldspeak of the men in white. Scotty McIver in game number 200, starting on the bench. And it'll be umpire Stuart Wen to open proceedings. Out comes Clark. Gets the first kick of the night. Matty Clark down towards half forward. Keating was there, got a hand to it a couple of times. Carey also tries to slap it back in towards the centre. Chandler tries to sock her off the ground. In solidly Simpson. Sock it out of his hands. Into Dick Boss in the middle. Taken high and going to get a free kick. The umpire thought about the advantage, then goes back and says, take it, Danny. Smack bang in the middle of the MCG. Now he comes wide to Clark. Matty Clark, a couple of early possessions, but that kick dropping short and a timely mark taken by Roberts in defence. He comes out towards Carey, who's almost down to the half-back flank, drifted up towards Longmire, and he marks on centre wing. Got a very good record in front of goal against the Brisbane Lions, Johnny Longmire. At the moment, though, he kicks up towards left half forward. Robert Scott was there, Scholl was there, so too Simpson at the bottom of the pack. Dick Boss has got him, and there'll be a bounce. Good night for footy, Robbo, isn't it?
Yes, I think we're a bit lucky. It was pouring rain here yesterday in Melbourne. The weather coming over from Adelaide on Wednesday, which I believe was very heavy rain fell over there, but we're a bit fortunate here. It looks as though it's going to be a reasonable night. Steady breeze blowing, but doesn't really affect the football here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. And the Lions trying to get the ball away from their right half-back area. Kicked forward by Tristan Lynch. The mark was nearly taken there by Stephen Lawrence. Now the chances for Anderson. Oh, good play, Roberts, quickly. If he'd have taken possession, he was gone. Anthony Stevens tried to break the tackle. Handball to Mark Roberts. Kick by Roberts is just offline and through for the first score of the game.
Well, terrific quick hands by the North Melbourne players on that occasion, moving the ball very quickly into their 15-metre arc, and just unfortunate then that Roberts didn't finish it off.
The outer side of the ground. Oh, big fly, but no mark. Taken by Barker. There's a chance for Allison, steaming into Scholl. He's been their focal point in recent times. He hasn't missed a game this season.
Good unselfish play there by Allison too, I thought. He could have nearly blasted away.
He could have. Instead, he's given Craig Scholl a chance of kicking his 32nd goal for the year. Kicking from 42 metres. Drop punt that's high and straight, and North are on the ball.
Well, there's one thing that Dennis Pagan would have been impressing upon his players prior to this game, and that was to get off to a good start, because the Lions do get off to some very good starts. They're at a very emotional side. John Northey revs them up in the rooms before the game, and on most occasions this year they've been off to the better start than their opposition, and good usage of the ball. This fellow's been a terrific player all year. Goal number 32, this one.
So the first goal on the scoreboard to the Kangaroos. They lead by 7 points. The ruck contest back at the centre, emphatically won by Clark, but picked off by Schwass. Right foot kick by that player. Not too bad, but coming out strongly there was Barker. He's brilliantly tackled by Longmire. And I think that's a fair decision. I think the North Melbourne fans believe that Johnny Longmire caught the Brisbane Lions player red hot there, John Barker, but I don't know whether he had a chance to get rid of it, Tim.
No chance to get rid of it. No prior opportunity.
So the umpire, as we see Chris Johnson and Peter Bell just having a little to do off the footy, and Darren Gold's been giving the free kick to the North Melbourne player. Scholl, here's a goal coming up to Anderson. No, he missed. Not able to control that flying shot at goal. Eric Cantona style was Stuart Anderson, and he scores a behind. Craig Starcevich in the foreground with the interchange players, one of which I noticed was Nathan Chapman down there for Brisbane. And a lovely kick in, well knocked on by Clark. The Lions a chance here to break clear of their half-back line. That was Darryl White. An attempt to tap on by Stephen Lawrence, gathered by Barker. Skillfully done, Darryl White. Sets it up. Little slow there was McRae. Run down. Fletcher. Tackled. This is going to be where North Melbourne will show their wares. Barker's kick. their quick, effective tackling on the lines. Can they break away? Keating's kick towards half forward, taken by Gowers. Gowers goes in and kicks the Brisbane side's first goal. Fairly well played by Brisbane. They had quite a lot of possessions down the outer side of the ground, and they've got their first goal on the scoreboard.
Well, there's no doubt the way North Melbourne play, they do like to kick the ball in the corridor around centre half forward. And on this occasion, I think some of the players were caught napping here from North Melbourne, because that's where they like to run when they go forward. On this occasion, the Lions just shifting the ball wide, and then Gowers drifting down from the wing, finding some space all alone.
Andy Gowers playing only his 4th game for the season. What a confidence booster that will be. Game number 133 in his career. 1 ball's gone missing. What a souvenir for someone. A 2-point margin to North Melbourne. You would think the winner of this game tonight will go a long way towards cementing a top 4 spot. Clark again appears to be able to float high. Trying to get it down towards Fletcher. He's going to take the free kick. Been an excellent player. Off to the running Gowers again. Can he make it 2? It's too far. Pulls it in going for distance down towards the pocket. McRae to the left and wide. Out of bounds on the full. Craig McRae in his 54th game. Now Wayne Schwass.
This was the venue that brought Brisbane undone at the end of last year. They were emphatically beaten by North Melbourne in one of the preliminary finals.
It was also the venue at which the Brisbane side won their first game in entering the competition, and it happened to be against North Melbourne. So a little bit of history developing between these two. Dick Foss decides to leave it for his teammate in Robbins. Held it for a long time. Here's Richard Champion. Hand pass was okay, and he gets it across to Clark. He's on centre wing. The Lions down by a couple of points. Into half forward. Mickey Martin was there, as miserly as ever, and he's got good support through the agency of Pike and Schwass. The Schwatter from half back. Looks in towards the middle. Kick was perfect to Longmire. North looking to build at the prime time of the season. Into half forward. Gowers, the effective spoiler at the back. Waiting down in front was Stevens. Which way is this one going to bounce? Initially okay for Lynch. Now he's got some work to do on Scholl, and Scholl has some till it's taken out of his arms by a sucker off the ground. Back towards the middle. Delightfully done by Clark. He pokes it wide. The Lions have got the numbers. Here's the enigmatic one. Darryl White. Deft little pass to centre wing to Marcus Ashcroft. Gives it away towards Fletcher. The Lions are on the run. Up towards half forward and Justin Leppich. He can't take it. Bradshaw's there with him. Pike shrugs the tackle. Gets boot to ball back towards the half-back flank, and the diving mark is taken by the latest member of the 200 club in Robert Scott.
And well done by Robert Scott too. He kicks the ball back towards the middle of the ground. Longmire has it for the Kangaroos. He kicks across the half-forward line. The lead was provided by McKernan, and the kick was pretty good. Corey McKernan not having to change stride, and a thumping kick to the goal square. It is going to register a score just behind. It was a 55-metre kick. Just offline, and North Melbourne's 3rd behind. They lead 1-3 to a goal. Mark Doran.
Yeah, Robbo, North Melbourne was about to make a move. Andrew Gowers is a bit of a worry on the wing on the Great Southern Stand side, but a last-minute change, and I think Brett Allison's now been instructed to stay with Gowers, and he'll tag him. They're worried about him at the moment.
Lynch's kick finds Darryl White. He stabs it in towards the middle. Taken by Kamanis. Looks towards left half forward. Bradshaw, the leaper. Stevens waits down. It's going to be paid.
Good test for him if he's being manned up all night by Archer.
Huge raps on this young man after his bag of 7. Schwass goes wide towards Stevens. The 26-year-old farmer goes into the middle and finds Roberts. Good start to this game. Tight and even. Here's Bell. Oh, had to go, and he did. They both did. Champion picks himself up. He's okay. Carey drifts down to half forward and marks just inside 50. So is the King building towards the finals as well. He's the key, isn't he, Robbo?
Yes, I think that North Melbourne supporters would love to see him get his hands on the footy and kick a few
Corey.
goals. Well, just kick a few goals. I mean, he's been in the play a bit over the last few weeks.
Starts it right and stays right.
It's amazing
Peppering
how...
away.
Sorry, Sandy, it's amazing how many defenders now in AFL football, especially this season, are drifting down once their side gains possession of the ball. Week in, week out, we see Backman kicking goals. Kerry having the opportunity on that occasion to put a major on the board.
Lovely long kick in, but North Melbourne try to hold it in. They're unsuccessful. Barker, who was a good player against Hawthorn up at the Gabba last week. Short kick finds Keating. 10 plays 6 early in the game. His kick towards Bradshaw, taken by Schwass, and he just sort of hacks it off to the, well, through point, I guess, from a cricketing point of view. Dick Foss in the hands of the trainers, maybe favouring a leg, but he's been a key player also to the Brisbane defence. Keating and Longmire to do the ruck work. Keating does well, gets it down in the direction of Lawrence. Lawrence across his left shoulder. It's a bit of a mongrel punt kick, good contest, but Leppich completely outnumbered. Back goes Carey to help out Mickey Martin. Carey, who had the previous shot at goal for the Kangaroos, kicks it in the direction of McKernan, gets rid of Clark quite nicely, and then kicks towards half forward, Scholl and Lynch. A real battle now between Johnson and Rock. That'll be a terrific contest. There are some great one-on-ones here tonight. Scholl going for his second goal. A lovely kick from a difficult angle, and he's kicked it. Well, that really was a terrific kick by Craig Scholl.
Terrific bit of finishing, but on that occasion, Scholl's opponent, Alistair Lynch, had to keep his feet, and he just wasn't able to do it. And in the end, Scholl, all he had to do was pick the ball up. Just watch this ball go back in, and there's a good one-on-one contest here between Johnson and also Rock. And on that occasion, Johnson spoke to the umpire just after that, feeling that he had been tripped.
2-4 plays one straight. Great start by Craig Scholl. Here's Clark again, doing the work in the middle. It's a bounce that's going to favour Fletcher, in fact. Gives it away towards Robbins, who pokes it high towards half forward. Keating underneath, got a hand to it, needs help, gets it from Ashcroft. He looks down towards full forward. Bradshaw also got a hand. Archer was there, Martin was there, but straight to Archimedes! Quick answer from the Brisbane Lions.
Well, they've moved the ball out of the centre pretty well so far in this first quarter. The Lions on that occasion getting the ball quickly into their forward line, and that's exactly what Ackermanis and also Lawrence will be required to do tonight. They've got to feed off their targets. They've got Clark Keating at centre half forward being picked up by Wayne Carey, and they've got a two-pronged attack right down in the forward line. They've got Justin Leppich and also Bradshaw. Those two guys are alternating with their leading, trying to drag their opponents Archer and Mickey Martin up the field.
Back to a 4-point margin. With 11.5 minutes remaining. McKernan, but straight to Fletcher. Good smother, however, by Scholl. Still going to be a chance for the Brisbane Lions as they go towards the centre wing. The mark is taken by Tristan Lynch.
Robbins has had 4 possessions around the middle of the ground already.
Been busy. Young Ben Robbins in only his 13th game towards right half forward. And as you can hear Tim Watson in the background, a free kick going the way of North Melbourne to be taken by Simpson.
Yes, Justin Leppich there, the infringer for Brisbane. Simpson's short kick is now with Mickey Martin from left half back. He kicks it close to the wing. The ball spills to the back of the pack. Running onto it is Rock. Hand pass away to Roberts, running in support. Roberts' kick across the half-forward line. Look at Pike, providing great running support from half-back. Hooks the kick and shoots for goal. And a magnificent goal kick by Pike.
He did it last week, Robbo, in the first quarter. Incredible.
Well, once again, a defender drifting down to get a goal-scoring opportunity on that time, Martin Park, and he really did have to finish this off. It was a good bit of vision here by Roberts, kicking across to the space in front of Martin Pike. Plenty of room there for him to operate in. Pike had the opportunity to draw the player and then handball over the top to Brett Allison. He chose to put the ball around the corner and probably a little bit fortuitous in the end as we go down to Robert Domenico on the bounce.
Tim, Sandy said there's actually 3 weeks in a row that Martin Pike has been able to do that.
Clark wins it out of the middle. Fletcher looks to take it away, and he does for the Brisbane Lions. Down towards the half-forward line. Pressure on Pike now, not the goal kicker, the defender. And he's ridden over the line. A cry of ball by Lawrence, but to no avail.
Fletcher has had 6 possessions.
Yes, Rob, I was just thinking then, actually, when he took that ball in the centre square, it's probably time that Anthony Stevens actually lined up right next to him. They're facing each other in the centre bounce, but far too much latitude with Clark winning those centre bounce taps at the moment.
Keating this time doing the work against Carey. Keating wins it, taken away by Chandler, who just wants the boundary line, and he finds it.
Interesting that throw in then, Wayne Carey not really wanting to put that arm up to contest. There we see that heavily strapped left arm. He had the opportunity then to contest the boundary line throw in, but didn't want to do it.
Keating wins it. Ashcroft, Scott, the 200 gamer, running into trouble, but it's going to come back, and it will go to his teammate. The free kick being given to Brett Chandler in the back pocket. Now Chandler will look towards McKernan. Clark is there with him, and Darryl White just floats over the top.
Just plays the game like about a 5'10", and he's a marking defender and forward.
Lepic comes leaping out. Robbins looks for a decision. He doesn't get it. And there'll be another bounce. Mark?
Sandy, it's just changing now, but North Melbourne are only using 1 player in their half of the ground at the moment. That's Shoal Lynch, and I think they want the likes of Pike to continue to run from their men and set up goals like that. But it's very evident that that's the way they're going to play at the moment, at least.
Well, I know if you want to be critical, gee, Justin Lepic should have taken that chest mark. 22 plays 12. If he had taken that mark and kicked the goal, there would have been just 4 points in it. And Brisbane, if they're to win this game, they just have to make the most of their opportunities.
Well, it's interesting. John Longmire down there now contesting the ruck, probably because Wayne Carey cannot lift his arms as well as what he should be able to.
And we just get a bit of a look there of just 6 players in the forward half for the Kangaroos. That's 3 North Melbourne forwards, of course, and 3 of their opposite numbers. Longmire not able to break away, but just momentarily before that, the umpire picked a free kick out to John Blakey. He plays on quickly, which we've become accustomed to. His kick will land close to the wing. No, it won't. It'll be brilliantly marked. Not paid to Barker. Gee whiz, I thought he had a fair grab of that. And he goes in hard. He might have been fringed against then. No, umpire quickly onto the scene and gives the instruction for the boundary umpire to throw it in. There's Wayne Schwass, the North Melbourne vice-captain. Dennis Pagan, the coach, in the box. 22 plays 12, North lead.
Fletcher goes through, tries to shrug the tackle. He can't. This time it's the North boys who ask the question. Darryl White there, John Blakey at the bottom. Gee, he's been a great player for them since crossing over. Now in game number 243.
Tremendous value he's given the Kangaroos. Yep.
On centre wing. Dick Foss does the ruck work. Stevens head down, bottom up, and away he goes, but not very far. Hayden Kennedy, Stuart Wen and Darren Goldspink, 3 Victorians in charge of proceedings tonight. Champion comes over the top, but straight to Peter Bell, who whips it round towards Simpson. Tristan Lynch over the top of him. Dick Foss, a deft little toe poke. Roberts says, no, this is the way you do it. Go long, and he does. In towards the pocket. The athleticism of McKernan to be tested now. He does well, but then gets a kick and puts it out of bounds on the ball.
That was sheer athleticism, wasn't it? Corey McKernan, once he got wound up there, just getting back to his feet, just a slight limp.
Yes, that knee.
But he really took Clark on with his pace.
Scott's kick is short but okay to Peter Bell. Bell's from 47 metres, brings it back in towards goal, but there's no one at home. And Lynch marks on the last line of the bench. Alistair Lynch. And now Dick Foss. McKernan, as you can see, still maybe in a spot of bother behind play. We'll keep a close eye on that. Maybe North's finals hopes are resting on that man right here and now.
Gee, a good tackle applied by Pike, but Robbins did well. He did the kicking and then he did the receiving and then kicked it further forward again. Martin and Lepic, and Justin Lepic, good test here for his discipline because he's going to find it very difficult to get touches against Mickey Martin, and he's got to contribute. He's got to be 1/18th of this Brisbane team performance tonight.
Yes, he's a very lively player, trying to drag Mickey Martin up the field.
Anthony Rock trying to break away. Johnson dispossessed by Stevens. That's Anthony. Wide to Pike. Pike again across his left shoulder to half forward. Good mark. No, play on, says the umpire. But McKernan brilliantly to Blakey. Blakey goes in, and North have got their fourth.
Once again, really, it was McKernan's athleticism which allowed him to win that one-on-one contest with Clark. And we just watched the ball arriving here from Martin Pike, just getting Clark out of the way, diving for the ball. The umpire not paying that, the ball hitting the ground, and then terrific running from Johnny Blakey, and White almost getting there at the last minute, but a good finishing bit of work then by John Blakey.
John Blakey has kicked his 73rd goal in some 243 games. Here's Clark in the middle once again. McKernan appears to be okay, but he jumps early. It's the Lions who win it out of the middle, and it's taken by Robbins. He tumbles it to half forward, clean bowls a couple, but not Leppich. Just inside 50, Leppich shoots towards goal. Into the square it goes, over the top it bounces, and hits the post. One behind to Justin Leppich. As we go down to Mark Dora.
Sandy playing against his old jumper, that of Fitzroy. Martin Pike is really fired here for North Melbourne. We've seen him kick one goal, and he's laid two of the fiercest tackles you'll see, and is really setting North up in a big way.
Wayne Schwartz brings it back in towards Robert Scott. Scott just belts it forward to accommodate Longmire. Look out! Dick Foss has got you! Spilled free now. And we'll have a bounce on centre wing. Good, even first quarter, but North now with their noses in front with a running goal from John Blakey. North fans happy.
Well, not a big crowd, but they're being entertained so far. Some terrific football by particularly North Melbourne in the early passages of this game. Fletcher applying a tackle there on John Blakey, and the umpire will call for a bounce.
The Lions really need to get some more clean ball in the midsection, because if they can get the ball quickly into their forward line and isolate a couple of those North Melbourne defenders one-on-one with Leppich's pace and also Bradshaw's height and Keating's ability, they have got their opportunities to score then.
Well, this is a good bit of play there by the Lions, provided by White's knockout in the first place. Leppich couldn't take the mark. There a chance here. McRae's flying shot at goal. Could be marked. No. Running onto it was Lawrence. But geez, outnumbered. Look, three against him. And in the finish, he gives away the free kick. Wayne Carey knew it was his. Grabbed when he didn't have the football. And unfortunately for Stephen Lawrence, that is a straightforward free kick. Carey in the left back pocket. Kicks to the wing. Barker, disciplined, away from Roberts. Kick forward for the Kangaroos. It lands close to the wing. Anthony Rock, he looks a little fitter this week, suffering a little bit from the flu last week, and the kick goes in towards Roberts. He marks, he plays on quickly. Anderson, a beautiful kick of the football. In towards full forward. Gee, it was a good kick. It really did favour the North Melbourne player in Shoal and made it difficult for the Lions defender.
And he'll be happy to get that one too, Craig Shaw, because he's led beautifully on 4 occasions and he's been ignored by his teammates up the field. They've had flying shots at goal, and each time he had Alistair Lynch on toast. On that occasion, a good kick then by Stuart Anderson.
So this for number 3 for the quarter. He kicked 3 in the first last week, and he's done it again. Craig Shaw gives North the flying start. 5-4, plays 2-1 with under 3.5 minutes remaining.
Well, he's a much improved player this year, Craig Shaw, and we'll just look at some of the matchups around this ground as well. At the moment, John Longmire's being picked up by Dick Foss, but he's going up the ground to do the ruck work, which allows Corey McKernan, after he's taken the centre bounce, to go back and play across half forward, and Clark is picking him up there. And down the other end of the ground, Clark Keating's doing the ruck work, and Wayne Carey's just dropping off. So John Longmire's got a big job.
Well, it's a margin now, a healthy margin in favour of the Kangaroos. 34 plays 13, and Brisbane, they've had their share of the football and they've made some good centre clearances, but not able to capitalise. The umpire on this occasion quickly into control. and bounce. 34 plays 13. Great start by Scholl with 3 goals, 1 each to Pike and Blakey. And for Brisbane, a goal each to Gowers and Ackermanis. The ball free for Schwass. He's just quite prepared to hack it again towards the boundary line in front of where the players' interchange area is. And it will be thrown in, and that's a free kick. Now, that really was quite unnecessary by Johnny Longmire. Oh. Tristan Lynch's kick, well, Danny Dick Foss and the Brisbane Lions fans would breathe a sigh of relief. Dick Foss kicks into the middle. Barker's kick towards full forward. It covers the players in that area. Kicked away by Pike to no one in particular. It'll bounce end on end and eventually taken over by Marcus Ashcroft.
I think Johnny Longmire's taking a call. Mellington on for a moment.
Talking to Dennis.
Poor bit of, I think he may have been dragged for that indiscretion, but poor bit of play then by the Lions forwards. They all lined up on the same line, which meant when they led, they were all in line together, and there's no one for the teammate upfield to kick to.
Clark looks in towards the pocket. Robbins. There is Johnny Longmire, a little frustrated. He's had a chat to the coach. Will now await his chance once again. There's only a couple of minutes remaining. Schwass, a high ball, not gathering a great deal of distance. We'll have another throw in. The crowd has built up in the last 15 or 20 minutes, but still relatively disappointing. Big night for John Northey. 22 games he coached Sydney at, 167 at Melbourne, 67 at Richmond, and now 44 at Brisbane to join the 300 club. Fine achievement. We wish him well. Lawrence couldn't take it, hustled out of it. Robert Scott also looking for a big night. Strength by Pike, but over the line.
Dennis Pagan's done a very good job here planning this. He's got Simpson on Tristan Lynch. Fletcher's being covered by Anthony Stevens, and Marcus Ashcroft's being picked up by Scott.
Johnny Longmire back in the thick of things once again. Didn't take very long, did it? Dick Foss caught going nowhere, and Longmire is one of those players making sure that he was going nowhere. The defending champions, North Melbourne, keen to build their percentage. Keen obviously for 4 points, but they'd dearly like to lift their percentage.
One of the other problems too with the Lions, Sandy, is the fact that they've got 3 very smart midfielders out of the side tonight in Lambert, Voss and Lappin, and so their next rung of midfielders aren't quite as good at getting the ball.
They're also missing some strength down in that forward line, of course, with Jared Malloy out. But in the meantime, play goes on. Champion a chance. Oh, beautiful interception by Stevens, but a good smother by Clark. Turns it over, and a chance now for the Brisbane Lions through Johnson. Drifted into the middle. The mark taken by Keating. Looks towards half forward, towards Justin Leppich. Martin's got the strength, and he's got the free kick. Oh, Mickey will get nothing away. To Pike in the middle. Got the player going past in the Schwatter. Wayne Schwass looks towards half forward. Lovely kick, one grab for Scholl. Wasn't enough. Simpson goes in to support him. Scholl goes again. A second attempt. Goes past Simpson. Lynch gets him. Back to Simpson. Now Anthony Stevens wobbles it into full forward. Stevens kick, which way will it bounce? One behind.
Well, North, they work extremely hard to become that next player at the contest.
Well, I don't even think that Anthony Mellington got a chance to smell the leather. Gee, that's a poor kick. Out of defence by Richard Champion, and he's put it straight down the throat of Anthony Stevens. And you can see there that, well, it is possible for Stevens to kick a goal from this result.
He just didn't appear to see Stevens at all, did he?
And that is the siren to end the first quarter. Great servant of the North Melbourne Football Club, this man. You saw the on the screen then, 150 games. And that is what confronts him. He goes for goal. Gee, it's not a bad kick either. Just offline. Has it registered a score? It may have. It has. A behind kick by Anthony Stevens after the siren. At quarter time, Dennis Pagan and Mark Dawson, Tony Elshaw in picture. And we have another look, Tim.
Well, it was just critical here that Champion, under a little bit of pressure, would have hugged the boundary line in this situation. You've got to have a feel for how much time.
Frustrated because he's used to playing back pocket, half-back flank, and he finds himself near the wing tonight.
Yeah, and Brisbane tried to pull Martin Pike down to the full-back line because he was so damaging, but I don't know whether North will allow that to happen in this quarter.
So here we go, the second quarter here at the MCG. Friday night football coming away on Footy's home ground, 7, and I hope you're enjoying it. There's nothing better. Down to the half-forward line, Keating overruns it. Carey takes them on.
And Sandy, in that first quarter, the Lions taking the ball inside 50 18 times to North Melbourne's 13. And also the Lions only having 12 handballs, so they really do have to get more run in their play.
Keating having a couple of attempts. Anderson gets it away to Scott. Robert Scott tumbles one to half forward. McKernan gives it away to Simpson. Another one to Bell, and North go charging forward. Peter Bell's kick down towards centre half forward. Allison came charging out. Blakey on the left foot needs a severe leg break, and he's not going to get it. Darryl White sees it over the line. But North have it in their attacking zone, the right forward pocket. Some of the boys still waiting their chance. Brent Harvey on the far left. Stevens. Enough Stevens here to sink a ship, North at the moment. Stevens D. But no doubt their time will come a little bit later on. Bell, a fierce tackler. Then he goes in and he gets it out. Well done. Socket off the ground by Johnson, conceding a behind.
Dennis Pagan obviously was concerned by Gow's pace across the midfield and his ability to get the ball. Now he's asked Allison, who's been picked up by Gow's, to march him back to the forward pocket.
Lynch kicks in, but it's punched back by the tall North players. Rock, little kick, very good. Longmire, I got the impression that Johnny Longmire might have been playing across the half-back line at one stage, but is he at centre-half forward?
He is at centre-half forward, Robert. What he's doing is he's going down and taking the ruck work, and Corey McKernan's going into the forward line, who's been picked up by Clark. But obviously Wayne Carey struggles in those man-on-man duels at the bounce or the throw-ins.
Well, Longmire to kick a goal. He loves this setup, and he's got it. Well, Johnny Longmire, one year, it's a little while ago now, I watched him out at Waverley try to kick his 100th goal, and he must have kicked something like 2 goals 11, and it was so frustrating. But we have a look on this occasion. He did some good following up work to take this ball.
Yes, he certainly did, and then finished it off. There's a move going on out there at the moment. Gowers has gone up onto the wing, and the Lions have brought on Nathan Chapman, who's now picking up Allison in the forward line.
Yes, a change there. Lawrence is the player off for the Lions. Chapman coming on. McKernan wins it. Could be a free kick to Brisbane, though. Tackle too high. Be taken by Adrian Fletcher. He too is approaching the 150 mark. This is game number 148. He's been a fine player too. In towards Champion. Flying from the back. McKernan. Shove, but gets his kick. Blakey, one of the flyers. Belted away from him. A chance for Robert Scott. Good smother by Gowers. Could take it back again from McRae. He does. Down towards the left forward pocket. A chance maybe here for Lepage. Justin Lepage round the body. Pike couldn't take it. Archer gets his first touch. Gives it across to Carey. Back to Archer. North Melbourne out of trouble. He has a bounce. It goes towards the half-back line. Longmire picks it up on the half volley. Had almost a fresh air shot with the hand pass, then shrugs a tackle, puts Bell under a heap of pressure. Champion asks the question, and it's locked up on that outer side. 30 points the margin, favouring North Melbourne. Scotty McIver waited a long time for his 200th game, and he's down there with a youngster in Scott Bampert, who's playing just his 29th game and his 7th for the year.
Well, Brisbane have got to be a little bit more confrontational. I think they're being dictated to by North Melbourne at this stage of the game. Carey running away from the full back line. 2 bounces. His arrogance with Archer just a couple of seconds ago really indicates that Brisbane standing back and letting North Melbourne just control this game. Lynch is on centre wing. Short kick is all right. This is McRae, normally a goal kicker. He runs 8 or 10 and then kicks towards full forward. Gathered by Keating, little flip out the back, no one home. Longmire, Carey, now Schloss. Again, the arrogance of North Melbourne out of their half-back and full-back line. Player on his own in the middle of the ground is Scholl. Scholl able to run away and kick directly towards goal. Lynch is there. The bounce is a little awkward for that player. There's 4 of them down there. Chapman, handball away to Dick Foss. In turn to Johnson. Johnson with a little bit of space. He's run out of bounds, I think. And that really is indicative of the way Brisbane are going at this stage. They trail miserably on the scoreboard, 43-13. And talking footy on Monday night, the deposed coach of Richmond, Robert Walls, talking with Gerard Healy, who will be the host on Monday night. Darryl White trying to get away from the half-back line. Short kick, it's well weighted, and the mark is taken by McRae.
Under 16 minutes remaining in the first half. McRae looks towards half forward. The Lions having trouble with this defence. Maybe Leppich can break it here as he wobbles one through for a goal. Justin Leppich gets his first and his 39th for the season. Goal number 97.
Well, there's no doubt that the North Melbourne defenders have been on top. It's a fairly top-heavy looking sort of a Lions forward line at the moment too. They've got Clark Keating down there. They've also shifted Richard Champion down. He's being picked up by Martin Pike. And they've got the 2 targets right in the goal mouth in Bradshaw and Justin Leppich. So they've got a lot of marking power there too.
Margin back to 24 points. 13 effective scoring shots to 4 though. McKernan awaits his chance. Clark floats with effortless ease over the top. Anderson couldn't take it, neither could Scott. They surge it forward to Gowes. Gowes could have gone even longer, but he didn't. Maybe a chance again for Bradshaw. The 18-year-old's feeling the pressure, but around he goes. Beautiful play by Daniel Bradshaw. 7 last week, and the Lions hit back. 4-1 plays 6-7.
Well, it's been a good move to get Gowes out of that back pocket where he was just playing a negative role on Allison, moving up the ground. He's already had 3 possessions in the midfield since he got there, and he's really livened up that part of the Lions' play. And that was just terrific play then by Bradshaw. Just the balance of the young player. Watch this again. Gets back onto the ball, and terrific screw around his body.
Yes, I think if you can out-bustle and outsmart a great defender in Glenn Archer and an equally as dynamic a player as Mickey Martin, you've done pretty well. Only 18 years of age is Bradshaw. The umpire has found a free kick, and it is going to McKernan. 43 plays 25. Short pass is all right. Anthony Stevens is on the end of it. He's between wing and centre-half forward. Swings onto his left foot, kicks in towards full forward. Lions defence there under a bit of pressure. Ashcroft and Johnson working overtime. Scott not able to break away for the Kangaroos, and the umpire will bounce.
And Dennis Pagan's made the move. He's taken Allison now away from the forward pocket, put him up the ground, back onto Gowes.
The play only about 30 metres from the North Melbourne goal. Up high was Simpson, knocks it towards the square. Taken away by Lynch. Well done. Strong play. Very well gathered there by Gowers. It was an awkward bouncing ball. His kick goes close to the wing. Getting back is Pike. Gathers and then runs away. Kicks with the right foot to centre-half forward. No mark. Darryl White just hacks it out of mid-air, which wasn't bad play in the finish. Gathered by Ackermanis. Hand pass, really a little bit of misunderstanding there between Barker and the big ruckman in Keating. And chipping in as Allison to lock it up for the Kangaroos. You can see the centre circle there in the on the left-hand side of the screen, right in the middle of the Melbourne cricket ground. North Melbourne lead this game by 3 goals.
Keating and Longmire. Bell whips it out to Roberts. High punt kick. May bounce all right for Anthony Stevens. Thought about Roberts initially, then found Bell. Back to Roberts now. Good smother by Marcus Ashcroft. He's had another excellent year for the Brisbane Lions, Marcus Ashcroft, and must be a chance in the best and fairest, which has changed its name this year. It's now the Merritt Murray Medal, after the two longest serving players for the respective clubs, Roger Merritt and of course the great Kevin Murray. 333 games. Roberts out of the air, down towards Corey McKernan, delightfully done to Allison, but he can't break the tackle. Still a chance though. Scholl's hand passes wide. Anthony Stevens should eat this. And he gets his first, his 8th for the year in his 150th. 7-7 plays 4-1.
Well, North Melbourne, they love to attack that corridor part of the ground. Corey McKernan pushing up the ground. They just had the numbers here. Allison beautifully tackled. Scholl just coming out, giving the ball off square. And players just knowing that they run to that spot. And if they get in line and their turn comes, they'll get the ball and the feed off. On that occasion, Stevens finishing it off beautifully.
Well, no doubt about Anthony Stevens. 12 effective disposals. And his 12th was his first goal. And North Melbourne's 7th for the evening. Robert Scott kicks it forward. He's playing on Ashcroft. His kick lands and punched away by Lynch. Chapman leaves it for Barker. And Barker, well, confronted there by Scott. And that's the sort of thing that I feel that North Melbourne beat Brisbane at all the time in Melbourne. They are fierce. They won't give in. They just try that little, what would you call it, a 1%er?
1%er. They're just a little bit harder at the ball at the moment.
Chance for Lawrence. He can't break through. Hand pass. Still the ball. Not clearly won. Ashcroft's kick has been well marked by Chandler. Chandler back to Carey. Carey still not prepared to kick the ball all that much. Longmire goes back to Pike. Pike, who has just steeled up that North Melbourne defence. He's kicked a goal already tonight as well. Darryl White for Brisbane. Kicks it back to half forward. No mark. And Pike again. Just knocking up, getting the football. Martin Pike now 10 possessions. Schwass to Carey. Carey, a long kick, covers 50 metres. Jumping too early there was Chapman. Thought the umpire may have nearly paid a free kick there. John Blakey getting to his feet quickly. 49 plays 25. North Melbourne lead by 4 goals.
Barker contesting and still going. Johnny Barker over centre wing towards the right half forward. This is Carey and Keating over the line.
The Lions' defence, which is one of the best in the competition, has been upset tonight because Dennis Pagan has instructed his players that have been picked up by Dick Foss and also White to pull them up the ground, and it's really making it difficult for them to read the play.
Lawrence was waiting at the back. Longmire with strength gets out. He wanted Stevens. Taken away by Fletcher and beautifully done. Up towards half forward. Martin could have given a bit of an out goal. McGee. And he did. So Justin Leppich will get a chance. Directly in front, but he'll need a good 55-metre kick. He is capable of that. Kick one already in this term. And the Lions wanting a couple to stay in touch at half-time. He kicks from 55. No trouble with the distance. Beautiful kick off the boot. Just way to the left. One behind. To Mark Doran. Mark?
Yeah, just an update on Andy Gowers. He's everywhere. North have now moved John Blakey onto him to tag him, and Darryl White's picking up Allison now across half forward.
23 points is the margin. Schwass surveys what lies ahead, then heads away to the outer side. Good floating leap from the side, came from Clark Keating. He's one of only 2 players not to have missed a game this year with the Brisbane Lions, the other one being Marcus Ashcroft, and as I speak, Scotty McIver gets his chance, playing his 200th game. It's down in the pocket at the moment. Bradshaw was there, Martin is there, Schwass over the top, and Archer also.
That's exactly what you don't want to see your forwards do, though, as Fletcher did then, dragging the ball back in underneath him. Really, he had the opportunity just to tap it into space again and then let one of his teammates run onto the ball and try and create something.
Let's see what happens this time. Keating can't get a hand to it. It's taken away by Roberts, and he goes for some distance. Just relieves the pressure slightly. Chapman spoiling from behind. Playing in front was Stuart Anderson in his 57th game, and it's over the line.
49 plays, 26. Brisbane, well, they're within striking distance, but North Melbourne 14 scoring shots to 6. You would think that Brisbane would probably need to get the next goal. Gowers again, McIver, little tap on, but Schwass is there. Good bump by Lawrence, but Schwass still able to force the ball over for a throw-in. He's lost his boot quickly. That's Champion and young Robbins in the foreground, but Richard Champion was taken from the ground, and Scotty McIver was his replacement. Gowers a chance, Fletcher, Blakey ready to swoop on it. Football is in there somewhere. 3 or 4 players in a pack, and the umpire will bounce. Danny Stevens there, preparing to come onto the ground. Clark, who's done a terrific job. Kick forward by Ashcroft. Schwass able to get his left foot to it, but well marked there by Tristan Lynch. He's another player that gets quite a lot of possessions in the matches that they seem to win, and win convincingly at the Gabba, but just struggling a little bit. His 4th possession only so far in this game. Great leap by Keating, not able to control the football. Hacked away by Mickey Martin, back towards the centre of the ground. Darryl White from behind. Still Darryl White. A real contest close to centre wing. Knocked forward there by the Kangaroos. Not going anywhere with any productivity. Anderson. Little hand pass, Danny Stevens, well done. Blakey will go in and get his 2nd goal, won't he? No, he won't, because he doesn't kick accurately on this occasion, John Blakey. Got the distance quite easily. 50 plays, 26, it's 24 points the margin.
Brett Allison and Brent Harvey on the north sidelines. Now Alistair Lynch. The Lions skipper tonight. Co-captain with Michael Voss. Carey. Short little toe poke goes nowhere. Ackermanis, the lightning hand pass. Now here's a chance for the Lions. Fletcher's on the end of it. Runs through centre wing. Looks down towards half forward and Bradshaw. Couldn't take the mark. Socket wide. Justin Leppich starts the race. So too does Gow. Gowers is too quick. He's inside 50. Pulls it round the body. Into full forward. No one able to take it. Leppich a step. Too far to the left. One behind.
Quite amazing. You look at the scoreboard and there's a 23-point difference, but the Lions continue to have the ball in their forward line as much as North Melbourne.
Both have kicked a couple of goals this quarter. The Lions holding North, but unable to close the gap at the moment. McIver and Martin, the latter with strength. That was Chandler. Ackermanis. Miraculous into Justin Leppich.
I'll tell you what, he's a good player, this player.
He's an excitement machine.
Oh, he's a good player. Strong too, wasn't it? Strong, real strong grab that.
Great play then by Ackermanis, just playing out the boundary line situation. He's really been their only clear winning forward tonight, this bloke.
This for his 2nd. Well, it's going to be touch and go. He may have... No, he's got... Well, even the players were unsure till they saw the goal umpire give the all clear, but that's the one they wanted, to bring them back to within 17 points.
Did a bit of work on the goal umpire then, I think, Justin, didn't he?
I think so.
I think it may be time for John Northey, who's been on the back foot tactically since this match started, just to throw his players around a bit. Tristan Lynch is being tagged and so is Ashcroft. Maybe just time to rotate those players.
So a very important 5th goal to Brisbane. They're not out of this game by a long way, but just importantly, they've pulled the game back to a 17-point margin. And Clark, who has dominated the centre bounces, Ashcroft. Good contest provided by McRae. McRae on the end of Fletcher. That was very, very tough stuff there by Carey and Schwass on Craig McRae. He gets a pat of encouragement from Scotty McIver. The play at centre-half forward for the Brisbane side. North lead 50-33, and there's a chance for Brisbane to maybe score once again. No, it's Simpson who will take the ball away for the Kangaroos. His kick will land at a vacant half-forward area. Knocked away by the Lions defence. On the end of that is Rock. His hand pass in the direction of Scott. Contest provided here, but Scott shrugs the tackle from Ackermanis and then kicks it in short to Carey. Mark Doran.
Yeah, John Northey mightn't be throwing his players around, but North Melbourne is Danny Stevens, as you can see there, who's led for the ball. He's now playing at full forward. Corey McKernan at centre-half forward.
Dick Foss and Stevens close to the line. And over.
I think
Stevens.
I think the Lions can just pick up their work rate by, say, even 5%. We see on a number of occasions where there's been 3 and 4 North Melbourne players going at the crumb, and probably only 2 or 3 of the line. So if they can just pick up in that area, they're not out of this game.
Simpson in strongly. Lawrence out with the ball. Steve Lawrence. Sob, son of Barry, as he's affectionately known. McKernan, front spot. Roberts, hurried kick in towards the middle. Bell waiting for a flick. Carey got that arm up that time to belt it down towards Roberts. Here's a chance now for Darryl White to defend, and he does to the outer side to Danny Dick Foss. The Lions are away. Dick Foss wants McIver, but Martin Pike is playing a perler. That came unstuck. Stevens now has got to beat a couple, and he does. Back to Pike again. Short one to Bell is okay. Peter Bell in towards half forward. McKernan. North starting to flex their muscles.
Terrific play then by Martin Pike across half back. When his line teammate broke from defence, he just had too much pace for Scotty McIver. Both of them knew where the ball was going, but his athleticism just got him to the ball first and forced a turnover and allowed Corey McKernan this now to have this goal scoring opportunity.
12 possessions to Martin Pike. McKernan from 47 metres, a high drop punt. He rarely misses those, and he's got that one too. McKernan, goal number 17 for the season. And North again cruise clear. 8-8, plays 5-3.
Well, it's been an interesting battle between Corey McKernan and Clark, because Clark's probably beat him in the centre bounce situations, but McKernan's probably been a more damaging player around the ground. He's had 6 kicks, 3 handballs and 3 marks, and Clark's just had the 4 kicks and 2 marks.
8-8 to 5-3, 4.5 minutes left in the second term. Clark knocks it down, but could be taken away here by the Kangaroos. Fletcher again, little hand pass. Was that all clear? Yes, according to the umpire. Ashcroft's kick, gathered by Chandler. Chandler, well, he probably tried to be maybe a little too precise there, and in doing so has given the free kick away by virtue of the fact that he kicked it out on the full. This is Marcus Ashcroft for Brisbane. Kicks it close towards half forward. Awkward one for Keating. Gathered at the back by Carey. Carey's kick to half forward. Punched away. Gathered by Ashcroft. Nice little hand pass to Darryl White. In turn to Chapman. Chapman probably tried to kick it maybe a little bit too far. And is that going to be paid? Well done by Barker.
Not paid.
Not paid. Well, there was another player in that exchange just at the last second, I think, that Johnny Barker tried to grab it in. And maybe he did touch it. 1, 2, 3. That Wayne Schwass may have touched it. But gee, it's a bit cruel, isn't it?
Oh, you wouldn't see a better juggling act than that at the Ashton Circus.
Keating, but Bell is there for North Melbourne. Kicks it back towards the wing. Not gathered by Chapman. It is on this occasion. Tries to get the hand pass out, but no one home for Brisbane. Little kick by Rock is very good. Sets it up for Roberts. Roberts in towards centre half forward. Great dive, leap and mark. Darryl White! 56 plays 33, and that will excite the fans that are here at the MCG. Gowers kicks to the wing. Johnson Critical fumble. Can he get past? Yes, he can. Well done. Past Simpson. Tackled by Blakey. Not tackled, but just put off the ball by John Blakey. And that's what the footy's all about. Darryl White in trouble behind play. Craig Scholl with the footy.
I don't know who got up higher, Darryl White or Ian Robertson in the call, but here we go at half forward. Gowes picks it up nicely and defends, tumbling it back towards the middle only as far as Bell. He traps it clean and goes in towards the right forward pocket. Here's the horse, Longmire, short and okay. North in charge at the moment. Danny Stevens to have a shot. Darryl White receiving some attention now, so he may be paying a lofty price for that screamer.
Gee, they don't need another one, do they?
No.
It looks like a knee injury.
I can see them bringing the oxygen tank out there, actually.
Frequent fire points for leaps like that, isn't it?
Terrific stuff.
Stevens. Oh, terrific kick. Another one to North Melbourne, this time from Danny Stevens.
Well, it's just a critical, we see this magnificent leap again, just a fantastic bit of aerial work there by Darryl White, but once again from behind, and that bloke just is a magnificent mark, but he's come down awkwardly. It appears he may have hurt his knee, and that's a real blow for the Lions, because in the last few weeks they've lost a number of star players in Voss and also Jared Malloy last weekend.
We'll keep an eye on him, but he doesn't look too good there at the moment. North, on the other hand, are looking pretty good. Ackermanis gets the hand pass away. Look out, Justin Lebbage. Miserly McMartin's got you. Carey in trouble. He loses it, goes back towards Martin again. Wobbles a kick towards centre wing. Johnny Blakey is there, and he suckers off the ground. Back in towards Roberts in the middle. Interception by Bark, almost ran into his own teammate, but recovers and then trips over himself. Goes again. Gowes twists into trouble. Robert Scott gets clear. Kicks up towards right half forward. McKernan a hand to it. Dick Voss defends at the back. Comes towards centre wing, and Barker again takes the mark.
No one really to kick to. We see Darryl White going to the rooms. It is close to half-time, so we'll keep you updated with the progress there of Darryl White. A sad sight for Brisbane fans, as after taking a spectacular mark, it may have been in the process of kicking the ball away that he was interfered with by an opponent. This is John Blakey with the football. Seconds ticking away in the first half. 62 plays 33. North Melbourne lead. They're just sharing it around. Anthony Stevens stands and delivers. 50 metres from goal. It will land and bounce to the back. Ashcroft and Scholl. Tristan Lynch dumped by Scholl, and the umpire quickly on the scene to see the boundary throw in. Dipper, Darryl White did come off the ground. Is it his knee?
Yes, it is his knee, unfortunately. It looks like he's jarred his knee. It actually happened when he came down. He landed on both knees, but I'll keep you up to date since he comes out of the rooms.
Thank you, Dipper. So he'll receive attention during the half-time break. Anderson and a Chapman, the two number 5s.
Just saying, if we go back to that critical drop mark by Chris Johnson too, they really were away on that occasion. They had to lose ball turned over, North Melbourne goal.
So siren time here at the MCG on Friday night football, and again the Northern
Ran about the centre half forward or centre half back line there.
So here we go, second half at the MCG. It'll be umpire Darren Goldsmith, the 32-year-old accountant, who's going to fire it up. Can the Brisbane Lions claw their way back? 29 points is the margin. Good to see. Darryl White, though, back out on the ground, starting in defence. But it's McKernan who kicks down towards half forward. McIver is there. Roberts and Dick Voss also. And Longmire. Dick Voss it is who gets it out. They've got a chance to defend back towards the centre wing. Clark got a hand to it. Recovers well. The boy from the mouth in South Australia goes again. Martin has been solid. That's a rainmaker. Chapman, the flyer, started on the bench. Roberts comes inside, but it's taken away by Clark. Here's Robbins again. He gives it away. And they push it up towards left half forward. Barker is there. Carey also. But that kick from Jason McKernan goes over the line.
Craig McRae, we've got the camera on him because we believe that he might have a bit of a wrist problem. So, gee, Brisbane, they haven't had a lot of luck over the last few weeks. They don't need any more injuries if they're to be some sort of a contender. Well, they've got to make the finals first of all. And North Melbourne, in their attempts to try and shut them out. Schwass's kick has been marked by Lynch. That's Alistair Lynch. He kicks across the half-back line to Tristan Lynch. Tristan Lynch, from that position between half-back and centre wing, kicks really to the feet there of John Barker, and not able to gather the ball, but Mickey Martin was, and he runs away with positive play from half-back. Hand passes to Carey. Carey with one bounce. Kicks in towards full forward. No mark. Dick Foss is there. Defending. Hand pass ineffective. McKernan to Roberts. Bell not able to gather. Ackermanis dispossessed by Bell. Bell the hand pass. In goes Blakey. Goal number 2 for John Blakey. Not forthcoming. He misses to the right.
Well, Robbo, we often talk about it being a game of mistakes, and it was just a poor kick from the Lions on centre wing. The ball not hitting its target, and North getting the turnover.
Lynch also not finding his target there. Straight to Longmire. Directly in front is the horse. Wants to go short. But not short enough. Wanted Stevens. White intercepts. He's okay, Darryl White. Comes to the wing area, and Andy Gowes, who looks towards right half forward. The Lions desperate for the first goal, but Martin Pike is playing very, very well. Defends.
Very ordinary kick.
Pike just read it better though, didn't he, in the air?
Finds Schwass loose at half-back. He can go back to Archer. Just waiting to set something up here, the Roos. Here's Bell on centre wing. Been busy. Wonderful career, really, for Peter Bell. He looked to be heading into the football wilderness. North threw him a lifeline, and he's taken full advantage of it. Anthony Rock.
And going to win the goal of the year.
McKernan. A little shove, Corey, a little shove. Now Lawrence has just come onto the ground. He's calling for it on centre wing. Dick Foss doesn't see him, however. He goes straight on with the job. Up towards the right half forward. Chandler spoils. Bell won't get there in time, and it's over once more.
And that's the problem Dick Foss may have on that occasion. McKernan giving away a free kick, but he is giving away a lot of height to Corey McKernan, with Clark now just running on the ball, and he's being matched up with Johnny Longmire.
We mentioned the Lions have only a couple of players that haven't missed a game. North have 6. Among them is Peter Bell. Darryl White shows him the footy. He's fine. Goes to right half forward. Gowes in from the side. Lepich in front. The leaping Justin Lepich will be hoping to really produce something in the second half. Pike ripped off the ball. Bell gets a hurried kick. Carey, Lepich, Tristan Lynch. Carey does well to keep it down to his teammate there in Brett Chandler. He goes in towards the middle. Longmire copped a decent old shove in the back. Subtle as a stepmother's kiss. And Longmire from the middle looks to half forward, looks towards Corey. He'll be free kicked and he'll shoot for goal.
Well, it's an area the umpires have been clamping down on in the past fortnight, and that is defenders giving away those sorts of free kicks. Most of them early in the season went undetected when the defender took away the arms of a forward in a marking contest, and it's good to see that they're now playing it, although Dick Foss getting very high on McKernan on that occasion.
McKernan for his second from 47 metres. Lovely kick. North go further ahead. McKernan gets his second, and North, number 10, 10-9, plays 5-3 on the 7 Sports scoreboard.
We see Longmire pushing the ball forward, and just on that occasion, Dick Foss probably going to knock Corey McKernan's arms away from the contest because of Corey McKernan's height, and getting him around the neck, and a definite free kick.
Well, a 6-goal margin now in favour of North Melbourne early in the third quarter. McKernan, a powerhouse, gathers the football from the bounce, kicks towards right half forward. Awkward bouncing ball. Darryl White gets back. Number 33 for Brisbane, number 33 for North Melbourne. Brett Allison back on the ground. He's been on the bench for a fair bit of the game, Brett Allison. John Northey, Roger Merritt off to the right. Really trying to work out how they can lift their team.
They're looking bewildered in that coaching box, aren't they?
Yes, there's a lot of questions being, well, unanswered. Darryl White, not bad to McIver. McIver's kick, well, he just gives it straight up. Longmire has anticipated that nicely and has marked forward of the centre circle. Mark Doran.
Well, that move's worked immediately, Robbo. John Longmire's just been moved back and Wayne Carey's gone up forward.
Well, Carey into the fray as well. Hand pass away to Pike. Pike just gathering possessions at will by the look of it. Oh, Rock, that was too high against Johnson. A blatant free kick against Chris Johnson. And Anthony Rock, he is one of the really popular players in the North Melbourne club.
Clark really missing on that occasion what he should have taken. He should have gobbled that mark.
Champion back on, Tim. Sorry.
Yes, Rob, I was just about to say that the North Melbourne players, they are so disciplined. They're probably the best front and square combination in the competition.
What Anthony Rock looks at and kicks accurately. First goal of the evening to Anthony Rock, and North Melbourne now lead by 42 points.
I watched the Roos train during the week, and Dennis Pagan, their coach, sets up a number of drills, and they're all designed around exactly here. See the players there camped in front of that pack. There was Craig Scholl, Anthony Rock, all there underneath the crumb, and the players do it all week and carry it into the game.
Moment of truth for the Brisbane Lions, down by 42 points. North looking to hammer home their advantage, looking to build their percentage. Johnson out of the middle, but only as far as Carey. Cruising at the moment to Schwass across half back. He'll swing round onto that left foot and go wide to the wing. Perfect to Longmire. In towards McKernan territory once again. Got to beat a couple. Can't do so. Lynch in trouble. Off towards White. His hand pass partly smothered. He's looking to go over the top to Adrian Fletcher. And White just gives him a wave as if to say, I'm sorry about that.
Ackermanis off the ground and Bamford on.
Clark to Johnson. Runs out of one tackle into another, then via the back door finds McIver. Maybe they could set something up here. Tristan Lynch is in the middle of the ground. He looks down towards half forward. Inside 50. Champion was caught right at the back. Scott Bamford has just come onto the ground. He tumbles a punt. He wobbles it in towards goal. And the Lions get a much needed goal.
Well, he'll certainly give them leg speed. He's just come onto the ground, picked up by Chandler, losing Chandler as that ball came forward. And on this occasion, see where Clark Keating and Bradshaw and the line forwards were camped on that occasion. They've got to give themselves a bit more space and start back further when they're leading for the ball. They're actually arriving at where the ball's going to be kicked about 5 seconds before the kicker, so they've just got to time their leads a little bit better than what they've been doing, and they won't be then standing still just jostling for the mark.
Well, to say they got a badly needed goal there is a bit of an understatement. Fletcher tries to crash his way through, taken away by Anthony Rock. His kick towards centre half forward, well marked by Nathan Chapman for Brisbane. He kicks out wide towards right half back, out in front of Gowers. Little hand pass, not bad for White. He was able to run onto it and then kick short, taken by Lynch. He's going to get run down though, and he's dispossessed, and away go North Melbourne. The kick towards the half-forward area. Great leap and mark by Mellington. Only on the ground for a matter of probably seconds. But it was a terrific effort. He crashed heavily. Another look at it. And Mellington, with his first real taste of the footy, he was on for just a few seconds earlier in the game, replacing John Longmire. Mellington from 50 metres. Pretty ordinary kick, just slews off the side of his boot, marked by Dick Voss. Away go Brisbane. McRae, his kick out wide. Bounces in favour of Bradshaw. He gets around onto his right foot and then hooks the kick over his left shoulder in towards centre half forward. Marcus taken there by Champion. He's another player who's just come off the bench for Brisbane. Kick it quickly. Takes a little bit too long. Up towards full forward. Lepic and Longmire. Longmire gathers and then handballs away. Justin, there's no point bluing with the umpire. The football is still in play and you're arguing while the football bounces over the boundary line. 36 points in favour of North Melbourne. You have the ability to kick a bundle of goals, and I think that's what the coach will be looking for. 11 and a half minutes left in the third quarter. North Melbourne lead by 6 goals. Martin and Keating. Ball falls to Rock. Handball over the top to Pike.
And Martin Pike is away towards half-back. He finds Simpson. A little bit of time and space to look towards half-forward. Chapman shows courage. Couldn't take it cleanly, but knocks it down towards Dick Voss. Danny Dick Voss spears the hand pass back to Lynch. Another one wide, and Chapman is in trouble again. Loses it, goes again. Bell's got him. Out, taken by Scholl, and Scholl is clear now. He can have a shot for goal from 55. He set sail for home, but he's pulled it to the left.
They've been indecisive tonight, haven't they, the Lions? When they've had the ball, they've had the breaks. We've seen them turn the ball over on a number of occasions by their kicks not hitting their targets. And on that occasion, they just chose the wrong option.
Alistair Lynch wobbles, kick that lands on the chest of 200 gamer Scotty McIver. Allison is going to have a spell for North Melbourne as I speak, and Harvey comes on. Good spoil on Tristan Lynch on the outer side. Forces a throw in on centre wing. Grand player is the owner of the number 11 Guernsey at North. The Norm Smith medalist, the mighty player. Fletcher looking for the free kick. High kick by McRae. Finishes over the line. So the Lions not making any impression at the moment. Down to the boundary, Mark Doran. Mark?
Yes, Sandy, the spirit of Fitzroy certainly living on here tonight. Mellington you saw come on before. He's been picked up by Alistair Lynch. Scotty Bamford, well, Brett Chandler's got him, and Martin Pike was on John Barker just before. So there's Fitzroy players or ex-Fitzroy players everywhere.
And there is one of the ex-Fitzroy players, Scotty Bamford, on his former teammate Chandler. Brett Chandler, of course, playing for North Melbourne, and Scott Bamford for the Brisbane Lions. The bounce about 55, 60 metres from the Brisbane goal. They're really struggling to convert. Kicked away by Anthony Stevens. Nearly gathered there by Lawrence for Brisbane. But Anthony Rock a little frustrated there. Stephen Lawrence.
They've missed Nigel Lappin tonight, haven't they, across half-back, because he just creates so much run for them. He does run through the lines, opens up the play for them, and they just haven't had a player tonight, the Lions, that has been capable of doing that for them.
Clark. Darryl White over the top. Peter Bell. Lovely hand pass to Harvey. A lot of changes now coming from the coaches using the interchange bench. Chapman tries to get the hand pass out to McRae. McRae's is a bit of an up and under kick, but Johnson is there for Brisbane. Not too many possessions for Chris Johnson tonight, just 4. His kick in the area of Bradshaw. He's going to be awarded a free kick. The umpire may be feeling as though his left arm was being held in that marking contest. He kicks in towards the forward pocket area, and that's a mark to Keating. Well done. Stand tall, and he has taken the mark. 4 marks to Keating, and we have another look at pretty good effort by the big fellow. up against a strong competitor in Mickey Martin, and he will kick from about 35, maybe 40 metres out. He kicks, and it's a pretty good kick. No, offline in the finish, and just creeps in for a behind.
Still looking for his first goal.
See there, Jason Ackermanis and Robbins on the bench. But on that occasion, Keating waited back. He was patient and had the hole to run into.
Carey with the running Roberts. He rips through the centre. North are on the prowl. A wobbly old punt disappoints, but Scholl may tidy it up. Off he goes towards the youngster in Harvey. He doubles back, shoots towards goal, but is away to the left. Pops through a behind. Brent Harvey starting on the bench. Sees the Roos go to 11-11. The Lions are 6-4. Lynch again towards Gowes, Simpson. Fletcher came over the top. White was waiting down in front, off to Tristan Lynch. Looks to go up towards centre wing. Pike was in front. The spoil was effective. Ashcroft is ripped to the ground and locked up by Schwass.
Robert Scott's done a pretty good job on Marcus Ashcroft. Just 8 possessions to the important midfielder for Brisbane.
Really turned his career around, hasn't he? He was made out as a goal kicker in Geelong.
Yep.
Now a tagger, and a good one too. Here's Peter Bell. Back towards Corey McKernan at half forward. Dick Voss used the body rather well. Who's going to be first up? Well, it's a player waiting out who was Scott McIver, who was able to take the hand pass from Chapman, wider towards Johnson. He tries to keep it in, but to no avail.
How many times have we seen that tonight where they've just messed up a situation where they've been able to get a player free, get the ball down the field, and the kick hasn't hit its target?
Longmire and Clark. Longmire scoops it in and is now going to be the recipient of a free kick. On centre wing. Corey McKernan is his target. Harvey's doing the scouting on the flank. Peter Bell is also there to assist. He goes in towards full forward. Mellington got a hand to it. Here's another one coming up for Martin Pike. Oh, he's loving it. Well, he's run into a brick wall a few times in his career off the ground, but he's doing all right tonight.
Well, he's running to the forward line on a number of occasions tonight. He's had impressive statistics, 16 possessions up until this part of the game, and just working hard to get down there and just to run his forward back down the ground. The forwards don't like to run that far down the ground. They've got to get back there again.
Well, he's a powerful looking figure, isn't he, Martin Pike, and he's got some power running in his body, particularly tonight, getting down into forward positions. This is Gowers for Brisbane. His kick, and Mickey Martin, no nonsense Mick, just punches the ball away. Pike about to swoop on it, locks it up at left back pocket, and Johnson has been penalised for not moving it on.
He's had a dirty night,
Won't be happy, and has a 50-metre penalty.
And I reckon we might see the little fella in the lime green outfit heading out to Chrissy Johnson in a minute and taking...
What about the guy in the white uniform?
A hoop with him.
He's not in any danger, is he?
Chrissy Johnson, he really should have been given that ball too when Andy Gowers came down the field. He was on his own by about 40 metres, Chrissy Johnson, probably feeling a little bit frustrated about that as well.
Well, the free kick to Martin Pike. Pike's 17th disposal. He's already kicked 2 goals. Mickey Martin wants to get into the goal-kicking action. He's down there at left half forward. Johnson off the ground. Robbins on. There's a North Melbourne player. It's McKernan. I think he's hurt his knee. He doesn't look too good, Corey McKernan. He is just in excruciating pain.
Stop the game.
Oh, quickly
Stop
get
it.
out there and...
Big fella's in agony, isn't he?
Yes, it doesn't look very good at all. He hurt his leg in the first match of the season when Melbourne beat North Melbourne here. And I don't think that knee has been 100% ever since. He
Calling
struggled on.
Calling for the stretcher, and he appeared to aggravate it earlier in the night. And, looking at this now, it's gone again.
Well, there's not a worse scene in football, is it, to see one of the champions go down. So we watched this again, and he appeared to land awkwardly on the knee, and even Dick Foss perhaps coming over the top of him. But that's just a terrible blow for not only Corey McKernan but also the North Melbourne Football Club.
Well, sadly, the picture tells the story, but Corey McKernan sobbing with pain and no doubt disappointment. What a wretched run.
It'll be interesting to get a look at Dennis Pagan's face at the moment too, because their premiership chances,
so dependent on this man.
There's no doubt about that, Sandy. There's no doubt about that.
Continues to give the Stimmerol a decent old workout, this Dennis. As,
he doesn't show a lot of emotion, but I'm sure he's feeling terrible inside at the moment. Players just sorting themselves out. Chapman, Gowes, and Andy Gowes, the senior man in that group, taking control. Oh dear.
Well, it's 43 points the difference, but there's a big difference going off the ground at the moment, Corey McKernan. And if Brisbane are to show any sort of character in this competition, they should get right back into this game and make a contest of it now.
I think Mark Doran may have a comment on the other side, Mark.
Yeah, Sandy, I was only moments ago going to come on and tell you about the atmosphere here with the North Melbourne fans, but as soon as Corey went down, they were deathly silent. They're now clapping the champion after starting a chant of Corey, Corey. They know exactly what this means to the North Melbourne Football Club. Corey McKernan did have an injured knee, has carried it all throughout the season, and was planning to have an operation at the end of the year. The hope was that he could get through, but right now it doesn't look like that's the case.
It's interesting. Keating has brought Carey down. And play is set to resume. Longmire and Dick Foss have headed back into the pocket. Here's a Robert Scott in towards Mellington. The bounce is not kind. Mellington's a goer though, and he's still going. Now loses it. Champion had it for a moment. Ashcroft's in all sorts of bother at the bottom of the pack. Scholl asked the question. Also there is Stuart Anderson. And with 5.5 minutes remaining, the Lions must make their challenge now.
Well, Mark Roberts is being asked to do the ruck work in the absence of McKernan. Darryl White gets a fist to it, taken away by Ashcroft. His kick in the area there of Lepich and his immediate opponent in Carey. Bell dragged down by Bamford. Carey knocks it forward. On the end of it is Robert Scott. Chipping in was Darryl White. Scott keeps it alive, and so did Anderson. Scott's going to get a chance here. Kick towards full forward, not marked by Dick Foss. Handball away to Robbins. Robbins in a bit of strife. Ashcroft back to champion. Oh, a real comedy of just close in nothingness there by Brisbane. And a boundary throw in being forced in the left forward pocket for North Melbourne. 83 plays 40. John Longmire being asked to do the ruck work. Roberts over the top. Chapman kicked away by Tristan Lynch. A wobbly old punt kick back towards the wing area. Lawrence and Carey. And it will be thrown in between wing and left half forward, favouring North Melbourne. We saw McKernan carried off the ground, Mark Doran.
Well, Robbo, the news from the North Melbourne rooms may not be that bad. They're hoping it's just a pinched nerve of the knee, and that it's still a lot of pain, but that's not the long-term damage that obviously it appeared. It is the knee that was damaged, but as I say, right now they're hoping that it's just a nerve.
Here's Carey on centre wing. Partly smothered to Anderson, so he'll be called to play on. Should be pink, but not.
Just looking at a move that perhaps John Northey could apply, and that is to get Bradshaw off the ground. He's been well held by Archer. Maybe bring Ackermanis, who's a speedster, onto the ground and just try and get a mismatch. Maybe steal a goal before three-quarter time.
Bell over the middle. White slaps it back towards the centre of the ground. Robbins got rid of it like greased lightning. Allison's away, and so too is Anthony Stevens. He just chips up towards Harvey. Thought about going on to the youngster. Now he goes back and goes in towards Roberts, who marks virtually uncontested, 25 metres out.
I think that's probably the thing that's worried John Northey the most tonight, is how many times North Melbourne have really been able to set up soft scoring opportunities, just with a lack of marking and a lack of pressure from the Lions.
The 32-year-old going for his 152nd career goal. 20 metres out, makes no mistake. It's his first for the night. And North moved to 13-11. 13-11-89. The Brisbane Lions are 6-4-40.
Well, the Lions just haven't worked nearly hard enough on the way back tonight. On this occasion, North Melbourne having plenty of time, really. When Harvey had that ball, he had 4 options that he could have aimed the ball to. In the end, he chose the right one. Roberts.
He's done a pretty good job with his career, Tim. Mark Roberts, 181 games now.
He really has been a very good player, hasn't he? Started off with the Swans, then went to Brisbane, and now at North Melbourne, where he's become a very important big man for them.
And a very good goal kicker too. That kick never looked like missing. McRae kicks the ball towards half forward. Gathered by Clark, nearly run down by Archer. Attempted hand pass in the area, and Archer got back into the action again. I tell you what, that is just fantastic stuff by Glenn Archer. You really don't get credited with a disposal of possession. I mean, you have a look at that. It's not really the statistics of a player who's been a dominant player, but by gee, makes it hard for the opposition forwards. Trying to clear the ball from the half-back line is Simpson, assisted there by Archer, and the umpire will bounce. It is just forward of left half-back, not quite up to the wing, and the bounce of the ball, Clark tries to tap it in the direction of Fletcher. Fletcher's been reasonably quiet since half-time, really hasn't had much of the football at all in this third quarter. He was a fair player for the Brisbane team in the first half. Roberts gets his right hand to it. Scott not able to get an effective disposal. Simpson for North Melbourne kicks it down the wing. Harvey, it rebounds back to Gowers. Gowers' kick is good. Oh, it's just slipping at the critical last second was Fletcher. Goes in after it again. Leppich was the assister for Brisbane. Still nothing happening though for Brisbane. They trail on the scoreboard 89-40, and Keating now on the bench for Brisbane.
You have to applaud North Melbourne's defensive skills tonight, though, don't you? They haven't allowed the Lions to get an easy ball.
Clark, Stevens. Their tackling has been a feature of the game right from the opening bounce.
He's a happy fan.
Right half forward. 1.5 minutes remaining in this quarter. The quarter that North Melbourne hopes will set it up for 4 points and percentage. Blakey to Stevens. The centre wing, well done by Rock. He is a Rock. Anthony booted a goal earlier in the quarter. 12 possessions for him at the moment. Longmire and Clark. Clark wins it with a right-handed slap, but straight down towards Simpson, who heads in towards full forward, and Mellington couldn't take it from behind, is quick to recover. Dick Foss, a delightful turn, and skillfully comes away towards Gowers, who takes a good mark over the top. Looks towards centre wing. Barker was there, got a hand to it, and goes again. Loses out now towards Roberts, who in turn gets it away. And it's dribbled some 10 metres by Brett Chandler before going over. On centre wing. And a little bit of pushing and shoving, some frustration showing now. Some of the Brisbane Lions players. And Longmire will take the ball in replay. That's why Longmire has it, and he gives it to Roberts, who's on centre wing.
It's amazing how often the retaliator gets caught, isn't he?
Oh dear. To Rock is playing down time now. Anthony Rock will look towards half forward. The North boys will regroup at three-quarter time. And no doubt here more news on Corey McKernan. Stevens longer, the 150 gamer towards the centre wing. Good effort by Scholl. Could have almost hurt himself, Craig Scholl. Final quarter that Stuart Wynn is going to put into motion now, with North leading by 49 points, and they'll be looking to ram home the advantage and build on percentage in this final quarter. The Lions, on the other hand, desperate to stay in it. Clark floats through, can't take it, neither could Robert Scott. Ashcroft a little toe poke out, back to Clark again. McRae goes long in towards full forward. They need a mark. Lepich is there, Martin is there. Oh, miserly Mickey does it again. A real champion of Arden Street, Mick Martin. There's Brett Allison, just resting on the sidelines. Goal shooter extraordinaire. Barker and Pike. Pike's had a wonderful game.
With the Lions' poor record now away from the Gabby, you just wonder whether or not they're becoming one of those emotional sides that performs really well in front of their own crowd, and then without that stimulation, struggle.
Well, they've got a couple more at home that they must win if they have any thoughts of hosting a final.
That poor scoreline too, percentage will be a factor come September.
Barker, the strength of Pike, he's in front.
Actually, while that was happening, Sandy, I just did a quick calculation, without a calculator too, by the way. They did trail, North Melbourne did trail Brisbane by 4.4% before this match.
Yep.
Right now, North have improved from 108.8 to 111 point something. So if it is going to be percentage, North have certainly helped their situation, and they can maintain this current scoreline.
And of course, they'll go a game clear of them.
Well, that's important too. But if they do finish equal on points, this is going to be a game that is going to be critical for Brisbane.
Darryl White there a moment ago, just laying a fantastic tackle here on Wayne Swass. One of the best space eaters in the competition, Darryl White.
Here's McIver. Here's Lynch, Alistair Lynch, going for goal. He's pretty accurate. The skipper gets his first and his 11th for the season, and Brisbane's 7th for the night. 7-4 plays 13-11.
Well, John Northey obviously trying to shuffle his players at three-quarter time and just find something that resembles a forward line, shifting Alistair Lynch down there, and with immediate result there, Alistair Lynch on screen there, being picked up by Wayne Carey.
Well, not a lot to lose for Brisbane. They trail, and they've put a few of their big guns on the forward line. One of them was the goal kicker just a few minutes ago. Darryl White kicks the ball towards half forward. It bounces to the back there of Bradshaw. Keating and Pike gathered by Ackermanis, out to Ashcroft. Ashcroft, a little left foot kick in the area there of Lynch and Carey. Carey quite prepared to knock it over. Lynch appealing for the free kick, but not forthcoming. And Darryl White has limped off the ground, replaced by Chris Johnson.
Robbo, you were looking at a scenario of the coming weeks. It could well come down to the Brisbane Lions clash with the West Coast Eagles at the Wacker to decide who is going to be where in round 22.
Gee, I hope for their sake that it doesn't, because that's a tall order, isn't it?
That's what I mean.
Going from Brisbane all the way over to Perth, and well, if they've got to win that game to stay in and even take up a reasonable posse in the final 8, it's going to be a tall order. But they've got some respectability to gather here. Lepic squeezes a kick out just to the left of the behind post, so boundary throw in. I think in this situation, Tim, they really have trailed pretty ordinarily on the scoreboard, and they have to just make a contest in this last term.
I'm sure that's exactly what John Northey would have said to them at three-quarter time too, Robbo.
Roberts kicks it back towards a defensive 50. Lawrence can't break away. Or Simpson, that tackle was a bit high, able to get the hand pass to Bell. In turn to Anderson. Anderson to centre half forward. Goes past, and Longmire running back onto his right. Then a hand pass to Anderson.
Look out.
Anderson in turn. This is surely a goal. Coming up from Craig is no. Chapman diving, knocks the ball through for a rush behind to the Kangaroos.
You were riding him like Roy Higgins though, Robbo.
Well, Darryl White we saw limp off the ground, and he was a bit of a question mark at three-quarter time, Dipper.
Yes, just a recurrence of the injury which happened in the second quarter there, so we won't see Darryl White back on the ground for the rest of the game. He's just been iced up at the moment.
Ashcroft, or Gow's almost threw that out. Back to Marcus Ashcroft again. He's finishing full of run up towards centre half forward. Martin got a fist to it, belts it down towards Archer. Through comes the train. Up to 200 gamer Robert Scott. Now the best on ground, Martin Pike. Up to right half forward. Chapman couldn't take it. Here's Schwass. Chapman shepherded out of it as Schwass goes for the centering kick in towards full forward. Roberts is there. Floating high was Mellington. Couldn't take it. The quick hand pass comes out. An opportunity surely. No. Mellington was waiting for that hand pass. It was intercepted and locked up. And he ponders what might have been. But well done by Danny Dickfoss to stop what almost certainly was another goal to North Melbourne. Daniel Bradshaw off, and Adrian Fletcher coming back onto the ground for the Brisbane Lions.
Cockroach off to the right here suggested that.
Here's Roberts.
That's Tim I'm talking about.
Yes. Roberts again. Looked firstly to Scholl. Now Clark. Dickfoss. Going nowhere. Almost rugby style at the moment. Millington couldn't take it. Finally the hand pass is shot out to Stevens from a standing start. He pumps it long. There's no one home. And Richard Champion takes it uncontested. Also uncontested will be Tristan Lynch. He looks further afield and heads to Ashcroft, almost down to centre wing. Who's going to make the play now? Over the head of Ackermanis it goes. Over the head of Fletcher. Wide towards Carey, who's still protecting that wing. Bell's kick back towards centre wing. Look out, Tristan Lynch, you are gone. Wayne Schwass gives chase to Champion, and he rings him round like a washing machine. Finally over the line. I don't know whether the washing machines still go round, but anyway.
They're having another barn dance, weren't they, Tim?
Mark.
Sandy, some more news on Corey McKernan. We can confirm that it is definitely not the knee. It is the right shin. Corey will have x-rays tomorrow to see what the damage is, and best case scenario coming out of the North Rims is he might not miss a match. However, he's still in a lot of pain at the moment, so there's got to be some damage done. Corey has no idea what happened, how the injury took place.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what does unfold. A crowd tonight of 27,021 here witnessing this game.
Dickfoss, short kick. McIver, 90 plays 46. McIver kicks into the forward half for Brisbane. Bounces to the feet of Blakey. Archer just barges through and then kicks it back to the wing where the mark is taken by Lawrence for Brisbane. His kick, not all that good. Archer tries to crash his way through again. Fletcher tackled there by Anthony Rock. and the umpire will bounce.
Robbo, in round 16, we saw Adelaide play Brisbane at the Gabba. And I know, talking to you after that game, we thought that the Brisbane Lions at that point would have been one of the sides to beat for the flag. But since that game, they've lost Buse, Lappin, Voss, Lambert and Malloy. There's a lot of talent that has gone out of that side.
Yeah, I think that takes away a lot of the edge, and you need those numbers, and they just, well, unfortunately for them, there's a couple of those that are season-ending injuries. Lappin will probably come back into the team, but Malloy and Voss are gone for good. What about Busey? What do you think? Busey may come back?
Yes, he may play a game before the end of the season, but it really does unsettle the side. They look like absolute world beaters that night.
Lambert?
And Lambert too.
May come back, do you think?
Lambert still may play a game this season.
Well, they need those, but a struggle for Brisbane to get the ball to within scoring distance. And Martin Pike, geez, he's a strong-looking fellow, isn't he? And he's done a good job with his career. He was in a bit of strife off the field a couple of times over the last few years, Melbourne, Fitzroy, and now with North Melbourne. And really, he is a key figure in the votes in this match. Martin Pike, 16 kicks, 4 handballs. He's kicked 2 goals in that North Melbourne score line of 13 goals, 12. It's not a big score, but they've restricted Brisbane to just 11 scoring shots, 7 goals for to Brisbane. Johnson nearly throwing it out. Robbins gets it out to Gowers. Gowers over his left shoulder. It'll be marked by Bell.
Peter Bell's away. Off to Martin Pike, who's had a very pleasurable night. That's a superb kick, and Harvey's clear in the middle. He bounced his way across the centre, looks up towards full forward. Roberts is his man. Mellington there, he couldn't take it. Mellington is going to be the first to recover. Spoons it out towards Roberts, first one way, then the other. No one able to pick it up cleanly. Now a chance for Rock. He does, Anthony does, and he kicks a goal. Rock gets his second. 14-12, plays 7-4.
Well, they just exploded up the corridor on that occasion. Martin Pike coming out of defence and handballing to Chandler. Chandler probably taking one too many bounces. By the time he did deliver the ball, the forwards were out of position. But they just worked extremely hard, as we've seen them do all night. And then Rock just getting the fortuitous tap out and slamming it onto his left foot.
2 goals to Anthony Rock. 14 now for the season. North hammering home their advantage, and it's Longmire out of the middle again. Down towards centre half forward. Scholl couldn't mark. Roberts went through but without the ball. Was able to get it out to Bell. Handled it like a hot potato. Back to Scholl. Off to Scott. He couldn't handle it cleanly. His 200-gamer Scotty McIver. Wide to the outer spaces. Scott gives chase. Stevens there also. Stevens first to it. The North boys almost fall over each other in enthusiasm. Clark's hand pass a little proppy. Roberts couldn't take it. Finally, it's Tristan Lynch, and the Lions are out of trouble. Up towards centre half forward.
It'll bounce in a vacant area there. Pike just overrunning it. You wouldn't call that an error, just unfortunate. Ashcroft slips as he kicks. Not too bad though. Ackermanis blindly towards full forward. Carey gets back, gathers inside the line. Hand pass away to Martin. That defence has been tremendous, the way they've worked. And I think the North fans will be pretty happy about Johnny Longmire too, playing a pretty good game. Handball to Chandler. Chandler gets it down to Bell. Bell, can he get past? He still gathers. Now he's going to get dispossessed. No, he's not. Well done by Peter Bell. Chandler's kick, nearly marked by Chapman. Is that down the ground because Bell... No, it wasn't. It was Anthony Rock that was dumped, was it? Chandler, it was Chandler. And Scholl takes the free kick about 8 metres closer to his own goal. No mark to Mellington. The ball spills for Johnson. Handball to Gowers. Gowers kick in the direction of Ackermanis. Well done by Chandler. Longmire. Ball spills for Chapman, but he's held too long. He got rid of the football. And the overzealousness there, and that's a 50-metre penalty against the Lions. McRae's attempted tackle on Longmire was too long, so Johnny Longmire will take the free kick and the 50-metre penalty.
Chapman grabbing hold of the ball here, and instead of throwing it back to John Longmire, he gave it to his teammate Dean McRae, and the umpire rightly telling him that he had to take a 50-metre trip. Longmire now lining up well within his kicking distance.
Shot for goal by Johnny Longmire is pretty good. Second goal to Longmire. He missed the finals last year, but by gee, he might play a big part this year if the Kangaroos can go all the way.
Yes, that, in fact, Craig McRae, not Dean McRae. Johnny Longmire's been a very good performer for them tonight. North Melbourne, plenty of winners all over the ground. And just an illustration of how poorly the Lions have performed. 17 players have had 10 kicks or less.
102 plays 46. 10 minutes remaining in this match. North consolidating their spot. Top half of the ladder. Schwass. Tackled by Ashcroft. Loses it to Rock. Not before he's able to give it away. Carey has been effective despite his limited shoulder use. Simpson's on centre wing. Looks in towards centre half forward. Mellington comes steaming out. Robert Scott waits down. Gives it wide to Schwass. Looks to go with the left foot back to Scott, and that's going to be okay. He's inside 50. Robert Scott spears the pass in towards Harvey. Some of their small brigade have done well tonight, led by Peter Bell, who's been one of the best on the ground, and here he is. If Pike's been best, he hasn't been too far behind him, Tim.
No, well, this will be his 25th possession for the night. And nobody on the field has had as much of the ball as this little fella here. Terrific performer.
Will run round to gain a few degrees and kick for goal, and he's made no mistake. Caps off a good night for Peter Bell.
But I think perhaps what will be the most frustrating thing for John Northey when he looks back at this game is just the lack of endeavour and fire in the bellies of his players tonight, because they certainly have the ability out there on the ground, but they just haven't worked nearly hard enough in all areas of their game.
16-12, 108. Brisbane lamenting at 7-4. 46. They've managed just one goal for the quarter as we go back to the middle. And it's Gowes this time who gets it out towards Robbins, twisting and turning but loses it. Back to Gowes again. Towards left half forward for the Lions. Keating's got to take on a couple here. And guess who? Yes, it's Martin Pike who comes away again. Back towards centre wing. But Scotty McIver takes the mark.
McIver for Brisbane. 108 plays 46. Alistair Lynch playing up on the forward line. Gowers has taken the mark. Gowers will kick towards centre half forward. Oh, Lynch manhandled, but couldn't quite take the mark. Kick forward by Robbins, and the mark taken by Chandler. Chandler, he does his little bit too, and the contribution of all North Melbourne players in a win. And this is Harvey in the back pocket. Kicks it back to Blakey. So they're sharing it around, giving a few of the players that started on the interchange bench a bit of touch of the action. Brent Harvey kicks it out wide. Anthony Rock. Rock with the football, approaches centre wing. Kicks past that area to half forward. Great mark. Longmire. Popular figure for the Kangaroos is Johnny Longmire.
Big night for him too tonight.
Very strong mark, and that kick has been marked by Richard Champion in the right back pocket. Kicks it in towards centre half back, taken by Johnson. Ordinary hand pass, really didn't hit its target with any effect at all, but Barker was able to gather his situation nicely to Chapman. Chapman to half forward, Archer and Fletcher, taken by Keating. Archer again bumped the Brisbane player as he kicked, and then the kick was out wide and gathered by Martin. They love it, don't they? The Kangaroo fans out there in the outer love Mickey Martin. Trotter out wide, and the horse has got it again. Johnny Longmire, 14 kicks, 10 hand passes, and his 10th mark, he's kicked 2 goals.
And those 3 really do epitomise this football club. Wayne Schwass, Johnny Longmire, fantastic. And there's a great mark by Mellington. He's away from 52 metres. A centering kick, beautifully to Roberts, into the open goal, and that's too easy. Oh, they're coming good at the right time for the Northerners. 17-12 plays 7-4.
And one of the reasons the North Melbourne players are so willing to run and work hard when they don't have the ball is that the North Melbourne teammates often reward the runner. We see this on this occasion again. Roberts started at half-back, running all the way down the field, and Mellington just chipping the ball across beautifully.
2 goals to Mark Roberts. 10 goals, 8 the margin. A healthy night for the boys from Arden Street. Robbins to McIver, well smothered by Simpson. It back spins a little. A chance for Tristan Lynch. But Simpson's quick to apply the tackle. Ackermanis swoops. Comes to half forward. Barker. No one on the mark, so he can go. And he does. Long and high. Pike and Bradshaw. No touch. May have been a push. And the umpire allows play to go on. A behind is recorded. Gowes, Lynch and White all on the bench for Brisbane. 1:14 plays 47. Under 6 minutes remaining. That's going to be out of bounds on the fall. Disappointing kick. Tired kick from Wayne Schwass. Steve Lawrence, who's been very accurate in front of goal, kicks into the square, bit of pushing and shoving. Pike's at the back, and away he goes again. Martin Pike gets his kick in time, makes 35 metres. Lynch picks it up. This is Tristan Lynch in towards full forward. Carey spoiling with the right wing, picked up by McRae, snapped by McRae, and he has put it through for a goal. Craig McRae gets his 16th for the season, and that is only Brisbane's 2nd for the quarter.
Well, they've really struggled all night. Good play then by Scotty Bamford just to put some pressure and force a poor kick from Martin Pike. He would have headed to the boundary line, probably got that ball over the boundary line had that pressure not been applied. And we've rarely seen that tonight, where a Lions player has been camped under the ball and has been able to get a goal from a crumb.
Well, just once so far this year have North Melbourne been able to kick 20 goals or more. They've got 17 so far in this game. And the ball goes to half forward. Just, well, slipped through Chris Johnson and kicked forward, hit the post. Might have been Adam Simpson, was it, that kicked that? No, young Harvey. And not bouncing the right way there for Brent Harvey, his 2nd behind for the match. Spent a lot of time on the interchange bench. But it's pretty lopsided, isn't it? 30 scoring shots to 13. 5 minutes left. Richard Champion to kick it back for Brisbane. Goes to the outer side. Roberts supplies the tackle on Ashcroft. Marcus Ashcroft, well, usually one of the really high possession gatherers for Brisbane. 10 kicks and 6 hand passes. Their best as Gowers, 18 and 3. Darryl White, 11 and 6. Tristan Lynch, 11 and 2. Craig McRae, 11 and 4. But the other side of the ledger, North Melbourne have got a lot that have had a fair bit of the footy. Simpson's kick has been marked by Champion at full-back for Brisbane. Plays on quickly. Kicks it out towards the members' half-back area, and the mark taken by Dick Voss.
He's off, Danny Dick Voss. Has Chapman running with him. Kicks over the head of Lawrence, but not past Wayne Carey.
I mean, Dick Voss really would have been better to cut back up the centre corridor of the ground, limiting his options when he went wide then to Chapman. He only had one position to kick the ball to on his left foot.
Michael Martin Michael Tuck medalist. And an idol of the fans from Arden Street. To half forward, Simpson in front. Had a look round at the umpire to see if he might consider that. He didn't. Bell's hand pass was like lightning. Roberts Scott shrugs the tackle. And
is that Wayne Scott's brother?
I just put those teeth back in.
Anthony Stevens is a marvel, isn't he? You look at him early in the game and he can be almost out of the game in terms of possessions, but you look at his stats at the end of a game and he'll have had at least 21 or 24 possessions. Already he's got 23 possessions. He's just one of those terrific workhorses.
Let's see what this 19-year-old can do from the right pocket. An interesting run in towards goal. Tries to bend it back. Came in as though on an S-bend course. 17-14. Plays 8-5 with that behind going on the board. So North Melbourne will now look to next week. They'll be back here. And it will be Richmond that will tackle them. McIver couldn't take it. Goes again. Simpson's tackle almost high. But he's a persistent little terrier. So too is Peter Bell. And cool and calm. Out he goes to Roberts, off to Longmire. And John Northey, not a fond memory. Is this his 300th game as coach? But still a wonderful achievement. The 16th person to reach that. And only Messrs. Sheedy, Malthouse and Parkin are the current coaches ahead of him.
Well, North Melbourne quite prepared now to probably play down the clock if there's such a thing. You would think that maybe goals are still a priority. Gee, that wasn't a bad mark there by Johnson in front of Craig Scholl. There's 2 minutes left. He looks to play on, tackled by Scholl, but he's able to run away. And Ashcroft back to Johnson. Johnson's kick to the wing area, and it bounces away from the players and over for a throw-in. Mezzers Dawson, Elshaw and Pagan.
Robbo, how much of an advantage? I know they know this ground like the back of the hand, but North now can all just about spend the rest of the year here at this ground. They've got every home and away here now.
They'd have to finish in the top four, wouldn't they?
Yep.
Otherwise they'd have to play an away final.
I know, but in home and away, they've got every match now.
Oh yeah, I think it's terrific for them.
And if they do finish top four.
Well, there's an article in the paper today. Oh, Bradshaw's got a player on his own in the square. Tristan Lynch will kick a goal. Tristan Lynch kicks his first goal, and Brisbane get their 9th goal. But still, it's a very lopsided scoreline. 17-14 plays 9-5.
Momentary lapse of concentration here by North Melbourne. They've been very disciplined all night. That fella on screen now, Bradshaw, he will be a superstar of the game. Had a terrific game last week. A lot of press during the week, and I'm sure John Northey will be reminding him of that after this game. But you still have to concentrate on every time you go at the ball.
Well, the article that I was referring to was one written by one of our co-commentators, Gerard Healy, where he's sort of suggesting that points should be not just 4 for any win anywhere in Australia. So it'll be interesting to see how that's received. Brisbane now, Tristan Lynch again, kicks in the direction there of Bradshaw, not able to take it. It was actually, yes, it was Bradshaw that went for the mark. He looks as though he's favouring a leg also. That's Stephen Lawrence, but Bradshaw running back to the goal square, and certainly looks as though he's a little bit...
Maybe a corky.
Corky, maybe? Right. Boundary throw in. Just less than a minute left now. Clark tries to get the hand pass to Bamford. Bamford to Johnson.
Johnson looks down towards the full forward pocket region, and Pike is there once again. claim, but not before he gets the hand pass away. Bell's on the receiving end. He goes over the top once more, and they go streaming out courtesy of Blakey and Harvey. Back towards the centre wing. Suddenly defence becomes attack. Scholl is there right now. Gets the hand pass wide. Anderson tries to keep it in play. Loses out to McIver, but he runs into a brick wall. The Stevens boys all there. Back to McIver once more. Messi on the outer side. And eventually picked up and wobbled towards Dick Boss. Can he pick it up? He's going to be caught close to the line. He held it for a long time. A cry of ball goes up as Stuart Anderson again runs into trouble. Roger Merritt and John Northey. Pondering. Norm Dare. As the siren sounds and North record a stunning win. Big winners in the end are the defending champions, stretching their lead at every change. And the most goals that Brisbane could manage in a quarter was 3, and that was in the final quarter. Johnny Longmire, fantastic.